Oh my fucking god, dude. What the actual fuck was that finale? Dude, I actually hate it so bad and I'm so disappointed. It's unbearable how miserable I felt watching that shit. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna address my first big grievance. Where were the stakes at this season? The whole fight with the Mind Flayer, that felt so underwhelming. Like, you're telling me the whole show led up to that? Nothing fucking happened. We literally see this eldritch horror and not a single person dies. Nancy somehow outfights the Mind Flayer. Dude, the Mind Flayer's head was like an inch away from Nancy. And he did 0 damage. You're telling me he couldn't even have like bit her arm off or something? That was so dumb. They killed him with fire, basically, just like how they killed the Demogorgon with fire. It was one of the worst fight scenes in television history. It was so bad. And especially the part with Vecna, they butchered Vecna completely. As a villain, as a character, dude, the Henry Creel dimension of it all pisses me off the most because the play, develops a whole different narrative. The play demonstrates that the Mind Flayer is the real villain. The Mind Flayer is what manipulated Henry. Vecna is like the Darth Vader in this situation. So to see that they didn't redeem Henry is a really bad message, and I'm very disappointed with the route that they went. But it's okay. It's pretty bad, but it's okay. The thing that pissed me off more though was how Henry even got his powers. Because in the play, Henry gets like a dimensional transportation into Dimension X. And this one, he gets like a stone that goes into his blood. How badly did they butcher this show, bro? And why would you even make the first Shadow canon if you were going to retcon the entirety of it? It's, oh my god, I don't understand why they did any of this. It's really stupid. And the fact that they said the Mind Flayer never controlled Vecna, so why would you write the first Shadow then? Why? What was the point of even developing that lore? Yeah, I did not like that fight. I didn't like how low the stakes were. I didn't like what they did to Vecna's character. But what happened after the fight pisses me off just as much. The fact that 11 killed herself, it's like, dude, is that the message we want to tell? Like, is that really the message we want to tell? Do we want people to think that, if you're in a bad situation and there's just going to be no way out of it, that's the message you want to tell, that, suicide is the only way to get out of that situation? Why? 11 had so many people in her life that cared about her. She had Mike, she had Hopper, she had Max, she had Will. For all of that to mean nothing is so sad. It's honestly one of the worst narrative decisions that they could have taken. And, oh, that leads me to another thing. The open-ended ending is so fucking annoying because you should have at least just confirmed what was going to happen, Don't leave this second option out there. Why? Well, it makes me so mad because like a finale is supposed to close things, supposed to tie things off. Why would you give, these two endings? I don't think that 11 is still alive because why would she not, talk to Hopper or talk to Mike? It didn't make much sense to me, and I felt like narratively it felt more like Mike was trying to cope and he was just trying to, give everybody hope and that, everything's okay, it's fine. So I don't like the message that they sent with O. I don't like that they portrayed suicide as the only means out, as the only means to end the cycle. It was one of the worst decisions that they could have taken. I'm frustrated about that. It's not the story I wanted to see told, but it's okay. No, it's not. It's really not okay. I don't know why they felt comfortable presenting that to such a big audience that suicide is the way out. It's so dumb. And even that escaping the people you love is the only way out. Is that what we wanted to see? I don't know. Did you guys want to see this? I hated this from the start. I didn't think Elle was going to kill herself, but once she did, I was like, yeah, this is horrible writing. This is not what anybody wanted to see. The Duffer Brothers failed, especially with Elle's character. They failed. They failed with Elle. They failed with Vecna. They failed with everybody, bro. But let's move on to what's her name? Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve. Oh my god. For the whole love triangle to end with Nancy choosing independence, it's such like a classic trope where, you know, the woman just like chooses herself, and I don't hate it. I understand that it was like technically a good message that they were trying to tell. It was just kind of bogus and annoying that they even developed so much tension in that, you know, love triangle in season 4. Because season 4, when, you know, Eddie says that was an unambiguous sign of love, and there was a lot of tension between Nancy and Jonathan's relationship. And to see nothing really happen in the end, so why even do that build up in season 4 if Stancy was never going to happen? It's you know, it's just annoying. I don't know why you would make such a big plot line around that just to give it the worst possible ending. Nancy choosing herself, that it is sort of in line with her character, but after last season, it's just not how the narrative was set up. And I don't think that you should have done all that build up last season if you're going to waste it like this, especially by giving Nancy basically no screen time or emphasis at all, and instead giving the kids in the cave with Vecna more emphasis. It didn't make sense to me. It was a bad way to tie things off. But yeah, I wish Stancy happened, but one thing I'm much sadder about is Byler. Yeah, I have to say, I'm sorry, guys. Byler should have happened. It really should have. When Mike said, Will, I'm not going to be your friend, I thought he meant like, oh shit, they're about to fall in love. Dude, that did not fucking happen. They were like, oh, we're best friends. Okay, that was one of the worst decisions that they could have taken, because if Mike really did find out that Will loved him last episode, why not address how Mike felt about that? Why do we not get no reaction from Mike? It makes no sense for them to have this whole coming out scene, have Will admit his feelings for Mike, and Mike to know that Will does love him, just to not get anything from Mike's end. It was unbearable to watch that happen. It felt like just pure queer bait. From the start of the show, you know, when Mike fought a kid over Will, when Mike said that the best thing he ever did in his life was become Will's friend. And mind you, that was after he had met Elle. For Byler to not happen after that is so just sad. I thought they were going to go the internalized homophobia route with Mike, because in season 3, like, Mike is very weird about their relationship. He calls, you know, girls a whole different species. And it's sort of like Mike almost didn't understand a heterosexual relationship. And when season 4 came around and Mike literally would not say, I love you to Elle, I thought, okay, Byler's happening. Mike, he cannot fit in this heteronormative relationship. He wouldn't even say, I love you to Elle, unless Will was there, you know, saying stuff. But yeah, I cannot believe that Mike and Will didn't happen. Dude, that would have been the couple of a lifetime. This ending was almost like worse than Game of Thrones, in my opinion. It's so sad. It's so bad. I can't believe not a single like gate happened. What about the painting? You know, why do we never get like a scene where we see the painting and then Elle says, oh, I didn't commission that, to Mike. And then we find out, like, oh, Mike and Will's bond is so deep. Why do we not get Mike's reaction to that? Why was nothing ever done with that plot? And I'm just so disappointed with how they handled Byler. It really just brings me back to Wednesday and the other girl from Wednesday, Enid. Dude, Netflix needs to stop queerbaiting us. It's so infuriating. I cannot believe that Byler didn't happen. There was so much setup, so much tension, and Mike didn't even say I love you back to 11, you know? It's so sad.